So hopefully during the Mars transit in Cancer, we're making some progress on our self-care and our inner world. No matter what we're going through, it's important to maintain that inner world. And I have my cat playing here with some things, and so like I wanted to just make a more pleasant sounding video, I guess. The Pluto conjunction is happening in one day. I'm making this on the 20th, and I've made some videos that aired already, but those were made on the 17th, and it's just interesting because we are going through a process that involves like cycles, and the sun is involved, and all the planets really, and the whole cosmos, and nobody's ever the same from one minute to the next, really, and especially if we access the dimension or the timeline that involves our feeling joy, what brings us joy, what authentically moves our beings into becoming buoyant more and more to the present moment, the truth, whatever it is we're doing. I have my cat who provides an amazing distraction, but I love her, and I just obligated to love, and it's a lesson. It's a great reminder of how to be, because it could be a lot worse. You know how that some people escalate with cats. You know what I mean? They can not understand that. Well, maybe it's not really a cat yet at all. It's still trying to get into his body, and it may never get into being an actual cat. I mean, boy, the way that we're being held captive here, right, via the money situation is really taking us out of our nature altogether. Really, there isn't a single human being to be found. Hi, how are you? It's just minute 2:15, and you think that I just put down a bunch of people. I say, no, there's two types of people if you want to get into it. That's why you're watching this. You probably like the subject matter of narcissism and or the non-human faction, and then there's the empath, which is the human faction. You can understand it that way and start adjusting to the information that I keep presenting here. I'm going to keep presenting it as long, and also trying not to cuss. But if you would like to end the cussing at any time, really, because maybe it's informative, but then you don't like it or even subscribe because there's a cuss word or two, go ahead and pitch in $5 at least to my PayPal. I mean, I always wonder, I always imagine, like, what if the 500 people out of all the people really on all of social media, which should never be privatized, you should never be under the impression that you have any kind of privacy at any time. Sorry to tell you, but there is a massive field of information called reality, which is a transparent place. It's right beyond the nose here. See, that's something that your narcissist never does take in mind, that possibly if you're checked out and you don't honor, see, that is God right there. If you want to know what God is Rhea. And if you see it written down, if you want to know it, it's written down, if it's God as a word or has a word to offer us, I've been uncovering that. It's a space language that we're looking into if you want to relocate yourself to the creator of creation is one way to say it, but you're involved. It's not anything like outside of or without you. Uh, Hi. Human being, are you? You're hanging on to every word then. Non-human? I've lost you, man. You're finding a way to hate me right now. And see, if I tell you that the dislike button is actually an is-like, just put the D down and the rest is like. You're outnumbered, babe. You don't know what to do about that fact. And anyway, talk about facts. Good luck, right? Good luck. People are so disorientated with the truth in reality. It's a miss. You're supposed to play a mind game with them, and it's an interesting, very interesting, tedious life we live here. We have to rely upon false information fields as people, and then see that the human side is going to know enough of how illusory it can be and only wants the best experience coming out of having found a solid feeling from something, having hit some kind of truth, which is usually giving us a solid feeling. I mean, there's people that could be ignoring some of the solid feelings that come from having hit the more unpleasant truths. There's where you have people just wearing a fake smile, or they are experiencing a certain emotion. Maybe it's anger, frustration, constant grief, or just complete confusion. Hello, narcissist, how are you doing? But then it's masked in just a smile. They learn to do certain things after a while. It's learned to look like a human and to be accepted within a human situation, which they get a lot of energy from. They depend on it. They get attention, and the more the merrier with that. Now, see, a lot of times it's other narcissists that admire them because they are in a position of so-called power. A lot of times they'll try to put themselves on more like just the the status quo, the admirable one. You know, the one that everybody thinks that that's the goal to be right there. That's if there's something to be, that's it. And little do they know. See, most people are checked out of. Again, there's the curriculum of reality, truth in reality, to start observing. Like, okay, so their personal relationships, like in the behind closed doors, could be nightmarish. I mean, nobody could live within it. People are struggling with their mental health because your brains could get damaged around people that don't really know how to communicate and be with reality, so they can't be with each other and who each other is. And the amount, okay, so this subject matter, I hope you like it in the way I'm just rambling off, but it has to do basically generally with the quality of the presence we are being, not only just to truth and reality, but say to each other. And that now is the relationship factor, the relationships that we are um, finding ourselves within. Uh, like, okay, that brings me to the saying, what, the level of consciousness that we're on. See, where the saying goes, what am I doing on a level of consciousness where this is real? See, it's not really a question when you're out in Mother Nature. I don't know. I mean, you meant to go there. I don't know. I mean, what did you do? Just get dropped out of an airplane? But really, see, it's usually between. I never talk about this because it's a very delicate subject matter, because narcissists take it over, they run with it, they decorate it, they master it, they destroy it, they erect it, they what is it, Shauna? What are you talking about? Relationships. Just the whole, like, okay, so because why? There's a lot of need behind it. It's a basic human social need. And whatever we need, they tend to prey on, right? It's just a basic with narcissists. They have the mentality of like a 3 to 5 year old, and they want to find out what pulls your strings or what triggers you, and what you like. It's kind of weird, but it gets more and more complex. But basically, that's what they'll do to get attention, whatever it is. Like, say, see, you can mess with something all day long over here, but if you turn it to the attention to something that daddy is handling all day, or mommy is, or your brother is handling all day, and you really want to get attention, you just kind of grab that and then run around with it. And at the very least, they're chasing you around for a while. You're like, yay, right? And there's the amount of attention that they get from them. Maybe it's highly possible that that is the only amount of attention that they can garnish from the people around them, their family. See, it's about that quality attention, the presence that we can be to one another, not only the truth. And if they are around the people that are enough not able to even be there, they're too jaded, right? They have so many other siblings. They have a house full of six, and there's three more coming in all the time, and they have a ton of friends. And now I call it like kind of jaded, or like thinned out, thinned out the to, like, say, you have no more real presence for them because they don't have any presence for you. It's a big game kind of a thing. It's like, don't you know that you should maybe get away from each other because that's not any fucking environment to bring up small children within, where you're just like this and you don't treat each other like the most amazing thing. Like, God, we're breathing one more day together. Have you had anything to eat? What is the quality? Would you like to, keep at track at least that? God, listen to me, Shauna. Are you okay? Ah, I'm feeling it's just energy. And I say, why not? You know what I mean? I might be ready for a monastery or something. Is there a place that just a few more adjustments I need to make psychologically that will release me into going somewhere else other than feeling trapped here without, if anything, it's without support. That's what I really am concerned over, right? Everybody is, though. See, are you tired of just help, help, help? Or it's just like, hey, man, no, no, this needs support. That's all. It's kind of like the difference between, like, say you're a musician, or maybe you did come up with a new, you come up to recognize a language to define it more, to recognize, to define language more. That has to happen over social media. Not only that, but to create a symbol system by bringing it up that happens to make such uncanny sense. I don't know how you're doing it. That is coupled with finding out that there's a language that is already here that begins to, like, say, when you bring it up, you're free to capitalize anywhere, anytime. How about that? Does that sound good? I mean, what about easy money? See, the thing is what we worry about is people that don't think that life is easy, and also that it's unfair. You know what? We got to get rid of these kinds of people. Let them quarantine themselves off. They can't see the word sheep in the word. They can't see the word see in the word sheep with by way of just choosing the capital. You're free to capitalize anywhere, anytime. If you happen to recognize something, can you see anything that you recognize here? In just the word sheep alone. See, this is the thing: is that I don't care what you say or I say. This is your brand. You are you, right? You have a you or the we, which is EWE, but put the E down and capitalize the we. That's all. That's all that we ask of you. Who are we? I just told you. You're a biological intelligence here. That's it. You're aware of it. You're like, gosh, dog, I have a kidney. I have a heart. I can't be responsible for any of that. But all I am is responsible for my behaviors. Now, but there's a control system that controls your behaviors. Of course, you're getting up at a certain time of day. You're worried about scarcity all the time of what? Most likely food. But let's ignore that fact. You need money for something, let alone everything, right? How did that happen? Might I add that you've abandoned your fucking creative lives? Pardon me. Something holds you hostage here. You're being held captive. There isn't anybody with a set of balls, let alone a set of tits that you can see within miles around. And even though there's just tons of people around there, no, no, they're not human yet. They're not living, really. But hold tight to your seat, kids. Are you following each and every word that I'm saying? With just the continuing fact that we are going through a process, the continuing awakening, just this week, within, well, 24 hours, a lot of us are going to receive downloads. Beware of that, how that people are just pure distraction. You need to spend time alone right now. It's that way with Mars and Cancer anyway. Mars and Cancer is just more like, no, I'm a homebody. I'm going to aggressively do something about my home that nurtures me and takes care of me in the way that I need for me. And a lot of times it reflects in our home environment that we have created a structure. That's what Cancer is known. There's, pardon, the trash truck. The windows are closed. It sounds probably a little bit more tinny. But there it is, talk about the structure. It's like, well, at least it's happening. But, well, see, it does. It chases coyotes in that area. If they're there, they're not going to be staying around here. And the bobcat, too. I don't know. They can get used to it, though. They can, I don't know. It's a lot of noise. Thanks a lot. Where am I now? I feel I need to sell this place because of how that they could just lower the cost at any time. They could say, oh, it's only $178 instead of the 365 or something. You're like, how does that happen? Fuck off. You know what I mean? and go online and start doing auction. Just keep the auction up right now. Always have somebody hanging on to buy it for at least $300. Thank you for going into my kidney garden talk. I don't like to talk along the lines of any kind of money sounding like I'm advertising or even futuristic talk about it, because it's a sign that you've become the scarcity mind. You're an impoverished kind. If somebody, it's true too, though, see. But no, you're only wise to set boundaries with people who don't know, who are posing as helpers. Right now, this is the main reason why I wanted to make this video. I hope it doesn't cut out, and if it does, sorry about that. It did on my last video, and I was just getting into the good part too. The way that people are now, see, with the aspects in the sky, and the way it's like a kind of a changeover to a certain kind of frequency within the organism, within the consciousness, within the consciousness of mankind. It's ever forthcoming, just the availability of the higher road to go, which is disturbing, by the way. It's because that's God, that's the truth. You want to just go the higher road. With me, I say, okay, I have to remind you that there are no people. There's just, see, there isn't the illusion that you think there is, per se, as such as separateness, really. More and more, I'm going to be getting into that. I have no choice. See, what I've experienced as alone time, of course, and then also just the culmination of what has happened in my life, how I end up very much alone, isolated, and struggling with this, like, it's like, wait a minute, no, wipe away all of this, like, weird feelings of being inadequate and not able to catch up and just didn't learn enough or something like that. No, that maybe, just maybe, and I speak for all of humanity now, I am humanity, sing it with me, that we are going through such an abrupt kind of change that involves our very reality, perception of reality. There's an interception service over there that wants to talk to us about aliens, and I say, calm down about that. You've already been in contact with them a long time ago, or don't you want to get out from being held captive by it? That really has you totally reversed and upside down. And as far as if you really were a technology and you needed to be programmed, and money was here to maybe help that along, but maybe it has been hijacked, and why do we need it anyway? Some really, really highly creative people will say, well, why do you really need it? See, by the time we get up there, you'll see that, oh, no, see, no, the people that you admire that have money, really, you don't even know who controls them. What I mean is the people that press the button on the mint machine to actually make the money. See, nobody makes money. I've always told this joke. Nobody makes money unless you have a mint machine in the back there. You press a button and special ink that makes the material that lasts longer than a pair of jeans in the laundromat when it goes through the laundry. 60 fucking, you'll see a bill still floating around from the 1980s, 1970s, and it's like you can still see, no, this is good tender right here, because but I've had to buy fucking 60 pairs of jeans since then, and they all come worn out, pre-worn. What the hell? Stupid shit. Pardon me, minute 19, and how are you? Did you have stupid shit for lunch and breakfast and dinner? I hope so. Did you get resilient yet? Find a way to detox from stupid shit, by the way. Get away from it, man. Yeah, it's bad enough, babes. I was trying to talk about the narcissist earlier, right? They cause brain damage in you. Just the fact that they don't know how to communicate and won't communicate is destructive to your mind. You are to achieve confluence with the people around you. If it's not just a wink and a hello as you're passing like ships in the night, or whatever is happening at the store, whatever kind of social life you really have been reduced down to, really, the main concern really, really isn't it, though, is that our very personal associations, the most personal ones that get into our sanctuaries, and who just muff it up because, oh, are they helping? They thought you needed help when it's really like, no, I need support. It's different. Support is different than help. So you can't help a musician. They're going to say, get out of here. Can I have some money, or do you have the right strings that I need to help me keep playing here? Since when do you think I have a shortage of notes, babe? Too, right? That's a heavy duty metaphor right there that needs. I'll pull it up more because notes is what we call money, and they're trying to tell us that there's shortages. See, you believe there's a shortage only because you've been reversed. You're turned upside down. Your system is fucked. Because here's why. Minute 20, and I'm giving it to you. I'm going to keep repeating myself in a strange, fucking way, and I'm going to put it all on my new interfacing system playlist, and I'm going to stop all of my other playlists from playing. I'm just going to have this one playlist that this woman keeps going. I'm going through these different. The Mars and fucking Cancer, babes, it's going to stay in there. It's going to go backwards. We're still, like, we don't have full power. When I say we, I'm talking about the very body. It's Mars. Mars is in Cancer. It's trying to do restoration. It's trying to get its cup filled full of real life good prana in case it has to deal with anything outside. See, a lot of people, if they're lucky and if God loves them, they find themselves having more alone time away from the illusion of people. Because people are a darned drain unless they are present to the truth and they're energizing themselves that way with you also. See, it's like a roundy round now. There's reciprocation, mutual. You guys just, it might not be happening for a lot of us, not quite yet, might not happen for a while. Let the energy of the Mercury in Capricorn go away. Mercury is in Capricorn. We just got through the Capricorn. One more day here for us, really, actually. It's on the 20th, and I'm going to put this on the 22nd or the 23rd. Yeah, see, well, no, it's just hit Aquarius just today. Sun in Aquarius, but see, tomorrow, on the 21st, it conjuncts Pluto. Talk about like an infusion of light that just flashes. It's another time for, see, like I said, if you're lucky, you're able to be alone. Let alone, see, Mars is doing us a saving grace that way. It's the mother really disguised with her armory saying, you know what, I need to protect me. What is me? Well, your nervous system. Protect your nervous system. If you want to isolate certain problems of inflammation and stuff, you should fast and treat your foods like a drug. Eat non-inflammatory foods. I swear about it. I'm telling you right now, I am feeling so good compared to just a couple months ago. I have made improvements on me. I don't know what was happening before compared to now, except for I feel like I'm being supported a little bit, but I'm here to tell you that no, what it really is that I'm beginning to come to terms with some things psychologically. We can't hold on to things that don't work for us and that isn't meant for us anymore. And that's a huge thing to say. For me, it's just for all of humanity. It's a psychological adjustment. Mainly, that's all, because you're not going to go anywhere on the planet without taking yourself and the condition that you've created of your mind, right, or yourself via you conditioning yourself, basically. What kind of discipline are you in and of yourself? The quality of the presence you're being to your feelings, right? That's something that toddlers are doing naturally, but they get interfered with, and then there's your subject matter of narcissism. Is like, why are these people so bent up and out of shape with such a thing that they at all costs, it seems that they're relentless in just playing this game that gratifies them through power tripping, mainly doing the mind game thing, playing a game of chess that most likely, now you hit like and subscribe and you agree that, yeah, your resources could be caught up into it, money could be caught up into it. I mean, isn't it big? Like, who cares? Right? But no, 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 no. We're talking about human energy being caught up into it versus people that are at a deficit of it. People that they're living such a karmic life, right? That they don't ever make it to the light of day, and it's just like you have to watch out because they'll let you know that they'll say right away, no, I fuck up all the time. I'm always fucking up. It's like they won't explain it. See, that's the thing is they just will not communicate. Tell me why you think that. Because I am not here. It was not. See, some people are not responsible for you. What do we have to? What do we have to? How can we work with you, babe? If that's your song that you sing to yourself, right? We understand if you're just entering into a field of information and you don't get it and you keep going like for the third time too, it's like you don't hit it right. You can say something like, well, I keep fucking up at it, and it's like, no, somebody, if they're a mentor or somebody that has faith in you, that knows that you can do it, that knows that you find yourself there because you know you can do it, but you just need a little bit more prodding as to how it feels to just do it. Get past the hump. Don't tell yourself that. Say that, you know what, I'm pretty sure I'm going to catch it because I've caught it before. See, and you don't stay there saying I can't do it. You change. You change by um just doing it. See, it could be for somebody else at first, but when you do it, know that you've done it for yourself. You're going to do it for yourself, right? I don't know. Do women need this kind of do they really need this kind of like cheerleading? No, not if they're in operating without having been abused by their leader, which is their mother, and or the nervous system through which she was born from and into, which is the woman. I'm sorry that I sound like this, but it's like it's a hard subject matter. I can care less for it, but it comes up. It's like, okay, so but what's missing? Why is everything so miserable? Take the woman out of it. It's just okay. So here in this fucking place, I really wanted to talk about the nature of the reality, and it would better make us understand why it's important to understand the biology that is here, that fits together here as men and women, like this, by the way, right? One of them is antimatter, woman, and one of them is matter. And that just needs to be understood as pure science. Nobody is superior or inferior than as far as that concept. It's very controversial. Very controversial. I don't want to get into it right now because we are looking at levels to this shit. And levels to what shit? Well, an intelligent civilization, when it's intelligent, it puts its women on the top. And I'm not saying it's women. No, if we look at that word, you're getting a message there, okay? It's called omen, okay? You have a nervous system that it'll just go, hey, wait a minute, no, something is strange in the air. Hold, let's do a certain this way. Let's not do it. And then something happens. It's like, yeah, see, we shouldn't, see? Thank God I listened to my innermost feeling. It's just feelings. That's it. That's it. And see, even men are suffering hard because women don't have feelings. We're in that time where we're suffering pretty bad because people are fucking mean. They are calloused. They don't know that it's mean. Like basically, babes, 80%. The norm is abusive as hell. I'm sorry to say it, but it's like, have you cleared yourself up, right? And this was before year 2020. When that announcement came for everybody to wear a mask, that 80% stepped into 92% because some of them went clear, right? There's a lot more mental illness, which I'm here to tell you that mind and illness are synonymous. two of the same, unless you put the capital M up for capital mind, which is the superior mind, which here's minute 30, and it's just turning out to be a weird video, but the trouble, I keep having to repeat myself, and I'm fine with it, but to let people know, you can tell that they're disoriented about, about, well, first of all, what is the use of social media? And what problems does it present to us otherwise? If you're not using it for its precise use, which is to, number one, start pointing out truth in reality in such a way that only celebrates. It's not the experience of it, it's just a suggestion, right? It can only be a suggestion, right? But you have to discern, especially nowadays with fucking artificial intelligence. It's pretty ridiculous. You just have to discern. No, this is real live footage that I'm looking at of people that have cameras, and you have a profound responsibility to take part in reality, which is what the cameras are pointing out at when you don't have any filters on it. See, now it's a free for all. It's the stupidest thing where you can just stare into this camera and go, and then type something and filter it through AI, and it'll tighten up your whole image, and then you can put that as a selfie, and it's like, whatever, fuck off, you're not being real. There is where say, okay, so you can say who cares, but you will when you start getting robbed. The real fucking things, the real things are being stolen from, taken from, their energy, their time, their precious energy, mainly their energy. See, it takes energy for me to vibrate this out, but I'm getting restored in a very real way. To me, it's very real. Here's how it happens. It's just inch by inch, make progress within yourself. It might not be apparent to other people that you've made any progress, or even yourself, but you start telling yourself the truth. For one, number one, tell yourself the truth always, and always just tell it like it is. Just, if you have a toxic person there, or you're dealing with that because they can make you sick, you know that. Just make sure that you're setting boundaries and you're trying to communicate, and then give it up to the heavens. Pray to God. Say, you know what? I've done all I could. I've communicated exactly the way I should, because there's a natural process that you're trying to get happen in your life with. Now, I talk about it in the beginning, I think, and it's very important. I've never emphasized importance in all my life over social media about it, all the 12 years. But relationships, of course, number one. The quality of the relationships that you're conducting, minuscule or on a big level, right? I would argue that you can't even get on a bigger level. You couldn't even have a decent ecology coming into you. See, it's to me, it's very it's very peculiar, the way that people feel so alone, and they are still struggling, like people like me. Like, I refuse, and it can't happen for me that oh no, Shauna, it's because you don't have a family, and you're not involved in a church, and you don't have this education or that job or this job, that I can't get my needs met here. What little babes, I'm here to tell you that Tesla intended, so I'm going to keep repeating this to get it through people's heads. They're not even thinking about it. Of course, it's supposed to be a safety net for social people. And the only ones who can be social, the only ones capable. See, if we start really bringing this up onto the table, some of you are dysfunctioned, and that's okay. We're not talking about you. You are forgiven for being rendered up dysfunctioned socially. We're not talking about you. We're saying that you are curable. There is a certain position, a lot, many. It may have increased, that the malignant cases that are unsociable, that are dysfunctional, and we're not talking about people that fit in with the system. No! You people are the ones who are dysfunction, the ones who hide in a 9-to-5 job. For instance, I had a stepmother who, well, for instance, her family did nothing but the government job, and they were fucking church going, Mormon no less, and I'm probably going to lose a lot of people that I can care less, Lucy. Just get off my channel if you're those kinds of people that You identify yourself by saying, I am a member at the church. I am an employee at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I don't give a fuck what you say. If you say I am a, you're not a real person. If you can't say I am a human being, then we question you, man. We question you across the board. We sit patiently. We try not to do too many hand movements for you people. We try not to have too much emotions. We come in different bodies over and over again as prophets, sitting on a chair saying, now, all you can be is a human being here. That's the achievement. That is, I'm acting like Christian now. All that he did was just like try to have a conversation. It became to where he's just like sitting in a room full of 30,000 people. And he's like, I just want to have this conversation. Have you ever asked yourself? Period. Because we know that some people are so far off into their egos that they don't ask themselves anything. There isn't a self there. It's not the real, genuine self, which is able to fucking be present this moment now. Capital S, baby. Capital S. It is so beautiful. I'm about to turn this off after this video. I'm gonna go out there. I've been doing it daily and getting back into a little. So this is probably why I've been feeling a lot better. It's just getting into more and more intense, like how I can drop into meditation like really quick. Really quick. It doesn't even require a breath for me, but just to be out in Mother Nature, be around. Oh my God, I have so many different birds in my yard this year, more so than any other year I've ever noticed because there's this other little tiny bird that's out there. It's just as plentiful as the quails, and there's other kind of songbirds and different colorful birds, but this one kind of bird, it's, I don't know, a little Mexican bird, part of the finch family. I think that they gather up at a certain time of year and roll around together, and they just happen to be out there, and all I have to do is sit around. See that those little things are like the cherries on top of existential reality. You have no idea what the technology that birds are. You don't even have the you don't have any idea the technology that you are in conjunction with what the sun really is, babes. The sun, the sun is a hollow thing. It's a hollow figure. There's too many pictures that you can look at that you can observe yourself and prove it to yourself over and over. It's like, whoa, that thing is almost gone because it has a sunspot or a hole in it, and you can see it's like, well, there's nothing there. It's all what it really is it's a projector. I've been already studying it and I've been looking into it, and then when you get information that they think that this person's crazy when they try to tell us about it. It's like, no, that makes more sense because I've been kind of looking into it. I've been getting the information too. And this is the way it's going to be for people in the Aquarius age if we're left alone enough and we're able to meditate enough, and we can become poured into us because we have YOU, a you, you're a cup, us, cups, tubs, buckets that gains information. And see, that's why it's important to use this to the nth degree. It's been kind of used. It's been trying to, invite in the organism to play the game. But I think for the most part, it proves to the monitor and even to malevolence, the screening system, that for the most part, the organism is scared shitless. There is only a few that have, like I said in the beginning, is it this beginning or the last beginning? Who knows? There's only a few that have the huevos and or the balls or the tits to really stand up and say, nah, go ahead. You're getting rid of the best of us and you're going to be left with crap, and eventually that crap is not going to make it. And what's left? The best of us. It's just that the best of us gets whittled down to fucking very few over here, just going, oh my God, look at the mess that the brunt of the population is just lost. Spinning away, man. Did you not notice there's a war against you too? Whatever it is, man, you can call it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't really bump into too many people. I don't believe that social media is a very sound, it's not at all a sound place to bump into people. I know better. You have physical reality that is just like, God, look at this. People are really fucking jacked of that physical reality part. And see mainly, though, the nature of people. But you can't have one without the other, right? You should be able to distinguish, okay, so there's a movie, And people are playing, you know what? I don't even see the movie. I don't see the part that I'm playing. I don't see the part that you're playing. But I will tell you a crock of shit that drags you into something that makes you having believed something. And it's like, wait a minute, I don't practice belief. I be with, man. I be with. You don't come into the mountains and be full of beliefs. Not really. You're playing a beautiful game of hopefully you're self-sustaining in a little bit of a way, and I'm appearing crazy because, well, my neighborhood is filled up, ching 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 ching, full of slots. Now it looks like a grid, and it's like, okay, so I'm still playing like I'm in the mountains. I guess I'm stupid, but the thing is, it's like, no, you guys, you made it up here with your fucking wagons full of shit, and all you can do is fucking pick your nose and fling a booger at me and saying that you're the most successful one here, and we gotta even put a sign on it saying no. Beware of this. It's hostile and out of control. No, it's actually sensing how fucking uncivilized you people really are. After all, it is the overly civilized, the over civilized, who seek refuge and the energy fountains that is the mountains in the rural areas. The mountains that are fountains of energy for these people that are overly civilized. They're giving too much to you fucking people. In fact, they're giving too much to the system over there where you just got to take a break and say, you know what? This place can fucking sustain us all for free. Not a single penny needed. Turn off all the lights. Figure out your own electric source. Why haven't you people done that in this fucking community? If anybody's listening from my community, it's up to you, right? It's up to you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I was trying to tell you, the era that we are in now. You watch. They can cripple people financially and just find that it's not really financial cripples that we're looking at. We're looking at mental midgets, right? That can't uh, run a golf ball through a gutter if it meant the life of them, that would have meant that it was probably irrigated into them and out of them, that they could provide anything with their creative life with them just being here. Start number one. Do you farm your own foods? The answer is hell no. How come? Because to date, right now, I can see that all of the chemtrails of California, man, I don't see how anybody grows on top of that shit. They're getting more and more shitty fucking produce, I'm sure. We are like so far, just this far away, really, from fucking total collapse. Like, collapse. See, that they are hoarding the ability to grow somewhere, right? And they're just going to let some civilization just go starve and die off and do something. And I mean that. I really do. If it's in Antarctica, yeah, there's a beautiful oasis where all the smart people went, all the really truly intelligent people, wherever Amelia Earhart flew off to, never to return ever again. That smart little bugger there.